UConn women's soccer has a long and storied tradition under the direction of 34-year head coach Lenny Santeras. Today, the Huskies welcome one of the present-day powers, Mark Krikorian's Florida State Seminoles. It's Florida State, UConn, women's college soccer, next on NSCAA TV. Beautiful night in Storrs, Connecticut, on the campus of the University of Connecticut Huskies, who tonight welcome in the Florida State Seminoles. They played in the national championship game a year ago. It's Florida State and UConn right here on NSCAA TV. Hello, buddy. I'm Dean Linke. Delighted to be with Sari Rose. And Sari, 34 years. Len Santeras, the guy's a legend.
He's an absolute legend in the game. He has a storied history here at UConn, and he's off to a great year this year as well.
He's got a big-time center forward up top, number 3, Rachel Hill.
Rachel Hill's a sophomore. She had 13 goals last year. She has 9 goals this year, and she's second in the nation in scoring right now.
It's going to be tough for her today, though, because Mark Krikorian in the back has Kristen Grubka, big-time defender.
She's an absolute stalwart in the back for the team. She's played in 2 national championship games. Not only that, she can get forward and score goals. Last year, she had a diving header against Virginia Tech in the semifinals to help put the team through to the championship game.
34 years at UConn, Lenny Santeras, 10 years now at Florida State for Mark Krikorian. And guess what? We talked to both of them moments ago.
We got to fight for every ball. We got to go forward. We've got to play simple and be alert of what is going on every moment of the game. And hopefully we win.
Well, I think that it's going to be about controlling the tempo. And, UConn is a very, very good team. And I've had a chance to watch some film on them. And they've got some very explosive players up front. So we're going to have to contain those kids and hope we can get a hold of the ball and keep the ball some.
Of course, tonight's game and all the games here on NSCAA TV are presented by our good friends from Continental Tire. Continental Tire, proud to be the presenting sponsor of NSCAA TV. Dean Linke along with Sari Rose, the Joseph J. Maroney Stadium, named after the legendary former head coach of the UConn men's soccer team. You see Florida State in their maroon. Let's take a look here at the starting lineups now for both these teams. First up, UConn.
We talked about Hill earlier in the broadcast. Rachel Hill is going to be the player to watch for UConn up top. She has 7 goals in 8 games.
All right, that's the starting lineup for the Huskies. And we'll take a look here now at the starting lineup for the visitors from Tallahassee, the Florida State Seminoles.
Florida State's missing 3 players due to national team duty, but I think they're coming in. They've got Grubka, who's been a stalwart from in the back line, and we're going to see her to do well tonight.
All right, as we get you set here, Florida State in their maroon from head to toe. The Huskies in their home whites as we are ready to roll. The referee tonight is Hayden Cust. George Bakarutis and Scott Kaczmarek are on the lines here as waiting to let them go, and here we go. Delighted to be with you in Storrs, Connecticut. An absolutely splendid evening here in Storrs, Sari. Perfect soccer condition.
Oh, it's a beautiful night tonight. The field was walking it earlier, mint condition. Just a great game about to happen.
Florida State goalkeeper Cassie Miller, a redshirt freshman, coming in now for Mark Krikorian. Now in his 10th season, they have made it to the NCAA tournament every year he's been there. Always hovering around the top 10. Of course, they went to the 2007 and 2013 final game, so close to winning it all. And you get the feeling that Florida State will get that national championship very soon.
Yeah, they're in a situation similar to UCLA's been in. UCLA under Jill Ellis went to the national championship several years, just couldn't get it done. Then all of a sudden last year, Amanda Crabble comes in, does a fantastic job of getting that championship, and really is still #1 this year.
Played up top. Now Florida State got some dangerous weapons up top. In a moment, though, we'll tell you about some of those key players missing, though, for Florida State. including one of the best players in the country, has 3 players representing their national teams. Of course, Dagny Brynjarsdottir, who is just a wonderful player from Iceland, such a key part of the team that made that run last year. She's already got 6 goals on the season this year. She's not here. She's with the Iceland national team. She's just one of 3, as Megan Campbell's with the Republic of Ireland and Emma Koivisto's with Finland.
Yeah, you know, coming into this, they missed them early on in and out of preseason. They haven't had them too much this year, so it's not that they're not used to playing with them. It's just such a difference maker when they're actually out on the field for Florida State.
Carson Pickett, number 16, will spread it wide. Played in the middle here. That's Jamia Fields. That'll come over to Hikaru Murakami, number 18, the Japanese superstar. Played up top here now to Williams. Williams is in, tucks it back. And Williams is having herself a big-time season as well, as Williams with 3 goals and 1 assist in 7 games, the transfer from Vanderbilt.
Yeah, just unbelievable start to the season for her. She came into the season with 55 points on 22 goals and 11 assists at Vanderbilt and has really been strong for them this year for Florida State.
UConn trying to put a little more pressure on. Pickett, great ball in. And that'll go out of bounds. Take a look here at the 3 players not here with Florida State on national team duty. The Seminoles. Right there, again, you see Dagny Brynjarsdottir, Megan Campbell, and Emma Koivisto not available as the Florida State Seminoles. One of the things Mark Krikorian has always done is brought great international players into Tallahassee.
He's been doing that since he started with Franklin Pierce, really been able to build championship teams on those foreign players. But I love the fact that he's willing to let them leave. You know, several years ago there was a lot of tension because certain schools were letting players leave and other schools weren't letting players leave for national team duty. And I think now it's just become the norm that if you're in U20, U23 team, they will let you leave for that responsibility.
Four minutes into this one, no score at the Joseph J. Maroney Stadium, home of UConn soccer, men's and women's. Played over the top. One back by UConn. The Huskies come in, both these teams with 6 wins. Florida State 6-1-0, UConn 6-1-1. UConn has beaten Hofstra, Navy, Central Connecticut, Stony Brook, St. John's, and UMass as they play it up top looking for Hill. Look at Hill. She's an absolute poacher. This is exactly what she does. Unbelievable goal scorer, 13 goals a year ago, 9 already for the sophomore. Scored over 100 goals in New Hampshire as well at her high school. Just a phenomenal talent. When you meet her, not very big or imposing, just flat out goal scorer.
No, she's one of those kids that just has a knack for finding the goal. She's going to work hard. She's very good finishing the ball. I misspoke earlier, but she's had 7 goals or 7 games with a goal out of 8, so she's really been strong for him this year. You know, she's second in the nation with goals right now, and most of them have come from just that ability to work hard, get in good places, and outwork the defensive side.
Here comes UConn. They are not afraid to play it direct to Hill. She gets a first touch on it, and it's cleared out of there by Grupka. That's the matchup that Sari Rose highlighted to start the show here, and we'll definitely keep an eye on that one the entire game. As sitting next to Grupka, of course, Miss Coleman is now gone, key part of that Kansas City team that won the NWSL, and that combination of Grupka and Coleman, so good a year ago, as you see Cassie Miller, but now it's Kirsten Crowley. So Kristen and Kirsten, the 2 center backs. Crowley, the redshirt sophomore. Grupka, the senior, went to Melbourne High School.
I think it's going to be key for them to communicate. Anytime Rachel Hill's in the area, one of them has to have a body on her, bumping her before she can get that run in. UConn is known to play direct, and so they've really got to be smart and make sure that they're always aware of where she is. But also, they've got to be aware of where Riley Houle is as well, who has 3 goals and 2 assists on the season.
Well said. It's Hill and Houle along with Hines as the H girls up top. Florida State able to win it back. In the middle of the field is Michaela Hahn along with Kennedy. We thought Nicolette Dries may start. Expect to see Dries come off the bench for Mark Krikorian. Spun there by Fields. Fields, so pacey, down near the end line. Remember, she was the College Cup most outstanding player on offense a year ago. Scored a couple goals against Virginia Tech.
And it's just her speed and work rate. She does a tremendous job of getting end line and serving balls in the box. She's just a fantastic hard worker for the Seminoles.
Connecticut now will try to work it out of the back. Megan Hunsberger, number 17, played into space to Hines. Hill is in there. Houle will make the run. Corner kick, Huskies.
That was just a tremendous pass into the seam, and that's something they need to play to the strengths. Liana Hines is known for her ability and her pace and just able to play that ball in a bad seam for Pickett, and there's Hines able to get in and try and get end line. Good recovery by Pickett, of course.
So corner kick for UConn. Lenny Santeras in his 34th season, bouncing around. No problem, though, for Florida State. And taking her time is Cassie Miller. She wears number 38 for the Seminoles. They'll play it out. Got Isabella Schmid playing the right back, Carson Pickett at left back, along with Grubka and Crowley in the middle. It's Kennedy and Hahn. Of course, we haven't even mentioned Marta Bukowska-Matthews, your reigning NSCAA Player of the Week, who put up a hat trick versus Stetson. 9 points for Marta Bukowska-Matthews, number 21. One back in the middle by UConn. UConn so tough, over the top. Flag stays down. Hill is there. All she does is score goals, ladies and gentlemen, and she has done it again. She's amazing.
Just one of the things we talked about, Florida State is such a great team with possession, but they love to get numbers forward. They had Carson Pickett going forward, able to win the ball on that side, and now we're going to see just a fantastically served ball over the top. Hill's able to stay on sides, and then just a great job of just flicking it over, not trying to be too cheeky, but what a tremendous ball served in by number 21, Brianna Butler.
Boy, you look at her composure. She looked over to make sure she was onside, saw the flag down, Sari, and then a wonderful flick over the goalkeeper, Miller. Now 10 goals on the season for Rachel Hill. We will talk to her at halftime. We caught up with her before the game. Very humble, quiet interview, Rachel Hill, and as we said at the end of the interview, she gets it done on the field, and she's done it again.
Yeah, completely unimposing when you talk to her, but when you're looking at her on the field, just very smart, athletic kid, good pace.
So a free kick now for Florida State, as Mark Krikorian loves coming back to this area, of course, coming back to Connecticut. He was a national phenomenon as the head coach of Franklin Pierce. And, of course, remember, Mark Krikorian also coached the Philadelphia Charge back in the WSA, actually hired Pia Sunhaga as his assistant coach. We'll get to that in a moment as Florida State trying to find Williams up top. One in the middle of the park. They get it to Pickett. Pickett sends it in. It'll come right back out as Murakami will try to run it down, but we've seen some great service from number 17, Megan Hunsberger. Florida State with some early urgency, down 1-0 to the home team here, UConn. Len Santeras and the Huskies Talk about the coaching staff for the Huskies. Len Santeras, Margaret Rodriguez, formerly Margaret Tejan, played in the WSA as well and played here at UConn. She's in her 8th season, the UConn grad of '99. And then Zach Shaw, the goalkeeper coach who spent some time with the Carolina Courage back in the day. Used to have that long hair. It's hard to recognize him.
Yeah, Zach was a terrific assistant at Penn State. Actually was down at University of Florida before taking his own school over at URI. Was a terrific coach there. Did very well actually recruiting Icelandic kids to the University of Rhode Island. And now Mark Krikorian, of course, is able to get him down at Florida State. But years and years of experience on his bench there with him.
Here comes Florida State.
Excuse me, Zach Shaw with UConn. He was down at University of Florida.
Ooh, mistake here by the Huskies. Drop back in, trying to find Williams. Fields with a good ball. And this one, though, picked up cleanly by Allison Saucier, the junior from Rocky Hill.
One of the things that Florida State does is they're very good possession. So we see this cheekiness at the top of the box. I think one of the things, this is an experienced team. They've got some new players out there, but for the most part, you're looking at players that have played in a national championship game. They play a tough competition year in and year out. Even though they're a goal behind, they seem a little frenetic. I think it's one of those things that they're possession-oriented. They need to settle the ball and do what they do best. Keep possession and look to find those seams.
Pickett, number 16, so good, middle of the field. Michaela Hahn will switch Fields now to Fields. Fields is on it. Jamia Fields, overlapping run coming from Schmid, and Schmid will get it. Schmid on the attack for the Seminoles, down near the end line. Schmid, the German, tough touch, and they'll say it went off of Connecticut. Corner kick, Florida State.
One of the things we see with Florida State is they bring Kristen Grubka into the box, a nice tall target, although they play short here.
Here's Pickett with the shot, far post. Kept alive by the Seminoles, just outside of the 18. They drop it back here now to Murakami. She'll square it to Fields. Fields comes back on corner kicks to help out. Now Grubka, who comes forward, such a great target on corner kicks, is back in her center back position. Good team defending, good communication from Florida State. Now they got to deal with a counter for UConn. And you've seen here with Lenny Santeras' team, they're not afraid to drop it over the top and into space, and Hill able to finish. That's why they lead it 1-0.
I think it's going to be important that number 7, Liana Hines, is able to press up and stay high and keep Florida State honest. The more that she can play high, the less she's going to have to defend against that Carson Pickett, who's been streaking up the left side of the field.
Pickett will switch Fields. Good pressure there from Riley Hull. It's Hill and Hull along with Hines up top. We said that earlier. Samantha McGuire trying to find Hines. Boy, it's not every day that you get the pub and all the sort of excitement coming into it and deliver just 5 minutes into the game the way Hill did. And she's the real deal. Her 10 goals ranked right at the top in the nation here at the Division I level, and she's only a sophomore. Now, keep in mind, she played for the USA under-20 team that just finished up the World Cup in Canada. She didn't play a whole lot. Got about 9 minutes over there.
And that's a team that just has tremendous scoring power. U20s, Mackenzie Doniak up top. Great experience for her to get there, though. She was only missed one game as a result, exhibition game, so she's able to come in with that experience, with that confidence from being picked to the squad. Really helps her going into the season.
They try to play it over the top again. We mentioned that Marta Bukowska-Matthews joined former Mac Herman Trophy winner Mami Yamaguchi as the only players in Florida State history to score a hat trick and register 3 assists in separate games. That's pretty good company. It looked like a handball right there. They'll let him play anyway. It popped up there on Murakami, but the referee let it go. Connecticut had it for a second. One back by Florida State. Murakami from Japan. Wanted to come over to the United States and get an education, and as Mark Krikorian says, great plays. Here's Hill. Hill's in again. Hill with Grubka on her. And there's Grubka coming back to do the work. Back to Hool. And a corner kick for UConn. So you've got Rachel Hill taking that overlapping pass, and then it's dropped back to Riley Hool, and the Hill and Hool show getting it done.
Florida State has to be smarter about marking Hill up top. As soon as UConn's able to get the ball, they're able to slip these little balls over the top, and Hill's got tremendous speed. Grubka, great job there, but shouldn't have to get herself in that position.
Boy, that touch just got a little bit away from Hool, but as Grubka knocked it away, out of nowhere comes Hool. Here's a corner kick for the Huskies. They lead at 1-0 on a goal from Rachel Hill, her 10th of the season. Hines will take a shot from distance, not on frame. Goal kick, Florida State.
Florida State.
Florida State Seminoles come in with a 6-1-0 record. They beat Portland, they beat Minnesota, beat Oklahoma State, beat Oklahoma, lost to Florida by a score of 2-1, then smoked St. John's 4-0 and Stetson 7-0. So they come in on an 11-0 run before that goal from Hill.
It's Sabrina Toole, number 33, doing a tremendous job against Shayna Williams, just using her body well, able to get the call on that as Shayna's just trying to tug her a little bit, but she's been tremendous for UConn in the back right now.
Thursday night soccer here on NSCAA TV. Great schedule put together by the Director of College Services for the NSCAA, Rob Kehoe. We've still got some more exciting women's games coming up. In a few weeks, we'll be in West Virginia for Nikki Izzo Brown and Tom Stone's Texas Tech team, a top 20 matchup. This one will go too long. It'll be a Connecticut goal kick now. They're in the lead 1-0, so certainly they'll take their time even this early.
And Connecticut's done a very good job of getting the ball and playing forward, and I think they need to continue to be smart. If it's not on, can they possess it and make sure they're not starting to force stuff?
Florida State 2-0 all time against UConn, while Thursday today actually just marks the second time the Noles have traveled to Stores, and first since falling to the Huskies in the 2002 NCAA tournament. Tonight's also just the second regular season matchup between the two schools, as the first three meetings came during the NCAA tournament. Now, Florida State defeated UConn 3-0 in their most recent meeting in 2008, and that game was played at Penn State. Florida State will open ACC play against Boston College Sunday afternoon on the road outside of Boston. Boy, Megan Hunsberger has looked very good, and Hunsberger will try to get it back. Decent give and go from Hines, and Hunsberger, of course, dropping balls over the top. Very effective for Lenny Santeros' UConn Huskies.
Yeah, Hunsberger is a terrific back. Played for that Albertson Fury team, coached by Paul Royal with the Thorns. Loves going forward. Absolutely loves to get forward. We should see more of that tonight.
That was a great pass from Hines right there, actually back to Hunsberger, who probably would like to do a little better with that first touch, although she just made a long run. She has been, as you said, up and down that right flank for Connecticut. It's been a nice game so far here. Great pace. Both these teams play a little soccer. Of course, Florida State will keep it on the carpet a little more, and then UConn, at least so far, looking to pop it over the top into space to the speedy Hill.
Yeah, UConn does a good job of that counter ball. You know, they're able to win it, and then they spring those athletic players, Poole, Hill, and Hines, just able to use their athleticism to get those goals, whereas, you know, Florida State's more of a possession, really trying to find the right spot, break you down. They're very comfortable on the ball.
Krupka came all the way forward from her center back position, trying to knock in that free kick, but it'll go off of her and out of bounds, and now another goal kick for Allison Saucier. Second half, we'll see the sophomore Emily Armstrong, the transfer from Boston College, will come in and play as the coaching staff here for UConn really feeling like they've got two really good goalkeepers.
Yeah, Zach Shaw, the goalkeeper coach, was very complimentary. He said probably the best 1-2 combination he's ever coached, and that's coming from a gentleman who's coached some tremendous players at Penn State and Florida.
Corner kick for Florida State. Coaching staff, Mark Krikorian, Mike Bristol, West Hart, Armin DeCranian, and Nathan Minion. Florida State, they travel big.
I like what number 4, Jamia Fields, is doing. She's actually calling for some help back here on Rachel.
Here's the corner kick. 3 white jerseys there trying to handle Grubka. Dropped outside the 18. Williams puts a little bit of pressure. This one kept down, deflected back the other way. Thought maybe the flag was going to go up as it came in off Florida State. I didn't see it go up, though.
No. I think she was on.
You can visit the official NSCA college scoreboard at topdoorsoccer.com for all of your college score needs. Along with the most up-to-date scores, topdoorsoccer.com provides box scores, match, team, and player stats, video highlights, and game recaps of all the action around the country. Your scoreline here at the wonderful Joseph J. Maroney Stadium is UConn 1, Florida State 0. And I tell you, this is one of those old school places that is just really special. Stands right on top of the field. They get great crowds here for both men and women. Of course, Ray Reed, the fine head coach for the men's team.
It's an unbelievable atmosphere, especially in the fall when it's cool and the leaves are changing outside. You know, the fact that it's got buildings on either side also makes the noise. And they've got a crowd in here. You can hear the echo. Tremendous atmosphere.
Pickett, number 16. Phenomenal story is Pickett. Just a true fighter. Of course, most people know the story. Born with her arm just past the elbow, left arm, and her parents tried to put a prosthetic on it as a young kid, and she wanted nothing to do with it, and has gone on to a fantastic career at Florida State. Very good player.
Yeah, I mean, and she's one of the kids that came in as a freshman. It's hard to earn time, but she was one of the few freshmen that was able to play every game for them. She was a Region 3 team player, U17 national pool.
Free kick opportunity. That means Miss Grubka is going to come forward again, number 13. We'll see how many white jerseys they put on Grubka. Looks like a couple trying to keep an eye on her. They look for Grubka almost every time. Can't find her, though. Is also over there was Bakowska Matthews. But now Mark Krikorian will go to his bench. Take a look at who's coming in for Florida State. Morgan Kennedy will come out. Williams will come out. Is coming into the game. Nicolette Dries, we knew she was going to come in, and also Berglund Thorvald's daughter, also from Iceland. Like Dagny Brynjar's daughter. Of course, Dagny's with the Iceland national team, and she's on the Mac Herman watch list as well, Dagny, so a big loss. And here comes Hill. She's got one already. Just want to go out of bounds as Hill trying to track it down.
You have to love it as a coach when you go to your bench and the player coming off of the bench is a kid that has 7 caps with the national team and had 17 goals in 25 games with her U19 national team. So have to love when you can sub in a player like number 10, Berglund Thorvald's daughter, into the game.
Pickett tucks back in. Played in the middle. Gotwick. 6 foot tall is Gotwick. Big and strong and showing that strength right now. Hines. Boy, Gotwick wanted it back. And a foul there on Hines as Murakami was fouled. Len Santeros will go to his bench, but one of the things that I understand about the 3 front runners is they are 90-minute fit, which you don't see every day in the women's game. Take a look here at this foul.
Once again, nothing too bad. Just kind of get caught in there. Referees just trying to get a handle of the game early on.
Grubka, what an effort to snap that. And Hines, it's been a regular battle here between Hines and Murakami. Murakami won that one to keep it alive. Here comes Florida State, pushing forward. It'll drop back, could be tied 1-1 off the crossbar. A brilliant shot from Florida State.
Just an unbelievable effort by Michaela Hahn.
Michaela Hahn, number 8, will take this.
Great little flick, hits it with her left, bending, and just skims that top bar. But we see how good they are. Just a nice little outside of the foot layoff. Unbelievable effort to hit that one time with her left.
Beautiful service from Isabella Schmidt. That's an outside back that dropped it over. Pickett calling for it. She'll get it. Pickett, first time, back across, hammered down, and here come the Seminoles knocking on the door. UConn now will indeed go to their bench, as coming into the game is Brittany Moreau. Her twin sister plays in the back, so both Moreaus will be in there. Hines will come out. Also coming into the game now for Connecticut is Andrea Plusenik, as Hewell will come out.
It's a great angle there to see number 21 on Florida State, Marta Bukowska-Matthews, just the power she got.
Ball one in the middle by Hill. She'll spray it to the left. Coming forward a moment ago was the other Moreau. As the identical twin sisters, Britt and Brianna Moreau, are now in there, the freshmen from Belchertown High School. 17 minutes and change left here in the first half, and UConn on the 10th goal of the season for sophomore Rachel Hill. She had 13 as a freshman, and there's a lot of soccer to be played, and Hill's a player to keep an eye on. She could shatter some records here in Husky land. Pickett. Murakami back to Pickett. So quick to the end line. Pickett keeps it down. What a ball. Still loose. Pickett back again. Gotwick won it a moment ago. Good service up top, and again, once again, it was started by number 17, Megan Hunsberger.
It's a little late hit there by Hunsberger. Stands aren't really happy with the call. Got to play compliments to the UConn back line, though. We mentioned Sabrina Toole earlier. She's done a very good job of man-marking that high player for for Florida State. Really denying the ability to find anybody in the box due to that tight man-marking.
Pickett again, so good. Playing that left side, but big time right foot. Will be knocked out of bounds. High pressure now from Florida State, and the Seminoles are bringing it down 1-0. They've scored a ton of goals on the season as they come in 6-1-0, including 11 in their last 2 games. This is Hahn, who probably had the best opportunity. Hill, she will go all 90 minutes.
Good
Flag
ball,
is up this time.
Yeah, Plusenik, not a bad effort to try and play Hill early. Hill was offsides, but you got to love that. That's what they're going to try and do tonight. They're going to try and slip her in. She's going to play as high as she can. See her kind of get the look in, but the ball was played just a little bit late. She's a step or so offsides. But number 6, the sub, Plusenik, has a goal and assist on the year. You look at Grubka, how she moves up there, and she just has that swagger and confidence in the way she runs and how she handles herself. Much more mature looking than some of the other players you see at this level sometimes.
Pickett will come over to handle the free kick. She'll go everywhere, number 16. What a talent.
Just love that left-footed service.
Back across, Florida State. Knocked out. And let's see, may have gone off of UConn. It has. Corner kick, Seminoles. Trying to run it down, but just a step too late there was Gabby Charno, the senior from Seaford, New York. Charno wearing that unconventional number 50. Florida State will come over now for the corner kick. Schmid has Pickett over there with her.
To be taken by number 11, Isabella Schmidt.
Good job by the keeper. Come out, command in her box. Allison Saucier, the junior from Rocky Hill, Connecticut. She'll play the first half. Emily Armstrong will play the second. At least that was the plan from Len Santeris and his coaching staff, Margaret Rodriguez and Zach Shaw.
It's always interesting. Carolina's done that on a number of occasions. They've got 2 quality players. They split in both halves. It's one of those things where as a team, how does the game change having somebody else in? Allison is very much has a great presence. She's an awesome leader.
Hill will drop it. Gottwig takes a shot, not on frame. Nice drop from Hill.
But sometimes it's hard to do because the other keeper coming in just has a different personality. But UConn's been very successful splitting halves with the both of them. I like the fact that they're rewarding 2 kids that are playing well that deserve to start, and so they're giving them each a chance to play.
Florida State will win that second ball. They'll come all the way back to their goalkeeper, Cassie Miller. She'll boom this one long. Cleared right back where it came from, off the back line. Over the top, Hill's onside, Hill's there. Hill, oh my, and another goal from Hill. An unbelievable goal scorer, Rachel Hill. Get her on the Mac Herman Trophy watch list. I'm serious. 11 goals on the season. Isn't it the name of the game, scoring goals?
She just has a fantastic knack and great speed, and they just love to play that ball over. Last year, Florida State set a record for the number of shutouts. They had the best defense in the school's history. And this year, maybe they're a little overconfident, but they need to be smarter and have a player on her at all times.
Yeah, she's big time. She is a handful, has an extra gear that you didn't know she had, according to Margaret Tejan Rodriguez, talking to her before the game, and she showed it right there. Look at the fight on this young lady. Stay with us here at halftime as we talk to her before the game, and she has delivered. Fields now, right side, Florida State. See what they can do to come back in this game. The Huskies feeling pretty good. This will be a huge win for the program.
This will be the best game they've played all year long. I mean, if you look at their schedule.
Pickett in. Oh, they get one back just like that. Too easy for Florida State. And the Seminoles with Schmidt coming forward for Florida State. Number 10, Berglund Thorvesdottir off the bench, and that's all she does is score.
Yeah, we talked about her coming on. We said we love the fact that you can sub her into the game, and we see here Pickett does a good job just with her right foot, plays that on the ground, and Thorvesdottir just slips it into the left side. Excellent effort, smart decision making by Carson Pickett to just slot that ball in, and good finish by number 10, Berglund Thorvesdottir.
4th goal of the season for Thorvesdottir from Iceland, as she's trying to chase down her Iceland teammate Dagny Brynjasdottir, who's got 6 goals, but she's not here. She's with the Iceland national team.
Florida State goal.
Just the last few games.
Number 10.
Florida State missing 3 regulars to national team duty. They get it back up to the goal scorer, Thorvar's daughter. Cleared out of there by Moreau. Pickett, she'll track down all kinds of balls. Switch it to Fields. Jamia Fields, as we mentioned, the all-tournament team and the College Cup most outstanding player, despite losing to UCLA in overtime. "35 minutes into this one, Sari Rose, and it's been a really nice women's college soccer game.
I think you see a tale of two sides. You've got Florida State that does a tremendous job possessing the ball. They're going to get it wide. They're going to look for services in the box. And then you've got UConn. UConn's looking to, can they win the ball and on transition slip or play Rachel Hill in over the top? And so we see two very different styles, both effective.
Crowley will come all the way back to Miller. Good high pressure from Hill. They said she was 90 minutes fit. To me, that meant center forward is just going to be ready to, but she's doing the defensive work as well, putting pressure on that back line, and I got to believe that's how she scores some of those goals, now 11 already.
Yeah, just her ability to put the pressure on the back line and maybe get a couple turnovers here or there.
24 goals in her young career, just a sophomore at Connecticut. Played in the middle to Hahn. Hahn almost scored one about 10 minutes ago, went off the crossbar. I'll give it back to Michaela Hahn. Pickett wanted it. Will go off the backside of Hahn. The other Moreau trying to play it up top to Hill. And Crowley will play it back to the goalkeeper. Ooh, it's one back. Mistake by the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper was out. Played back to Hill. Grubka tucks back just in the nick of time.
And that might have been an opportunity where instead of trying to play Hill, she just puts that on goal herself. I think she tried to be a little too helpful there, getting the assist, and that was something she should have just launched herself.
Under 9 minutes left in the first half. 3 goals already, 2 for the home team, UConn, 1 for Florida State. As we thank you for joining us here on NSCAA TV, another college soccer special. Tuesday night, we were in Williamsburg, Virginia for a men's game. The #1 team in the country, North Carolina Tar Heels, coming up with a big win over William and Mary, a team that beat them a year ago when North Carolina was also #1. Tonight we're here. Saturday we'll be in Santa Barbara for another big men's game, UCSB and UCLA. 8 minutes left, trying to find Hill. She snaps it into space, got there before Grubka. Well, I tell you, Grubka sees some big-time players in the ACC, and I got to believe if we talk to her after the game, she will tell us that Rachel Hill will match up with most of the players in the ACC. I think she's that good.
Yeah, I mean, she's an unassuming player, you know, not necessarily strong. We haven't seen her with the ball at her feet doing crazy special things, but she's just good at what she does. So she gets on the end of them, she finishes.
Great point. We haven't had to see that. They just knock it into space and she runs them down. Great point, though, Sari. Clever, though, in front of the goal, though. Flicking it over the goalkeeper the first time and just getting down to push it in with the bottom of her foot the second one.
Smart and composed. Like you said, smart and composed. She's able to flick it over the head. She's able just to get a foot on it, aim for the corner. Not trying to do more than what she needs to.
Sari Rose played goalkeeper at Wake Forest, so she knows all about ACC soccer. Dropped. Jamia Fields. She'll tuck back in. Thought she was going in line. Stepping up, though. Good team defense from UConn. That back line there of Charno and Toole. So good. Played up top. Let's see what Hill does. She'll trap it. Plays it over. She wants it back. Oh, she wanted it back so bad. Monroe back to Hill. Hill looking for a hat trick in the first half, but right at the goalkeeper. She had the far post if she wanted it.
Yeah, she needed to just slot that ball on the ground, but I think she just put it in right at the keeper. And looks like she might even be breathing a little heavy, which we didn't expect to see there.
Finally.
A great effort here. I love the fact they got the ball wide to number 23, and we see her just play that nice, easy ball on the ground. She's able to take a touch, And then look, puts it into the keeper.
Brittany Moreau, number 23. Her sister Brienne plays in the back. It was Brittany who dropped it back to Hill. Seminoles. As Nicolette Dries, number 3, is in there now as we walk you under 6 minutes with the score: the Huskies 2, the Seminoles 1. And Hill with both goals. Said it earlier, but just perfect night for soccer. I mean, just beautiful, kind of cool, but gotta believe the players are loving it.
This is why I love coming up to the Northeast. It's the September, October games. It's not too cold.
Foul there on UConn.
That's a foul. You know, the fans weren't happy with that call, but definitely took the ankles out.
Huskies try to play it into space. Moreau can't run it down, but UConn will push forward collectively as a unit, trying to pin Florida State a little bit here as we now have 4 minutes, 40 seconds left here in the first half. Been an entertaining first 40 minutes for sure, and I feel like you can expect more of it. At halftime, we'll talk to both coaches here. We'll look at the NSCAA Disney Soccer Player of the Week, take a look at the NSCAA Continental Tire Top 10, a visit with Rachel Hill, and we'll have the first half highlights and more. Florida State trying to add to that highlight reel. Pickett. Back to Murakami. Now Pickett. Can she stay with it? She'll lose it. Solid tackle coming in nicely there from UConn to win it back. Really good tackle from Samantha McGuire. See if McGuire can get to this one. She can't. Hahn will get to it first. Florida State now dealing. Dries. Out wide left to Murakami. Murakami will drop it back to Pickett. 3 minutes, 30 seconds left. Now it's Hahn. And now it's Grubka. Sarah, you said it. They play some soccer, Florida State. Let's see if they can get that final pass. They go over the top this time. Murakami thought Pickett could get there, so let it go over her head, but just a little too strong from Hahn.
We talk about the importance of what happens in these final minutes, and UConn has to get out of this half. You know, it's imperative that they play smart here.
This one will bounce to Hill. Making a run. What a ball from Hill. Drop back in. One player to beat, but tracking back there. Florida State doing a great job to come back and win it as that ball was delivered to Plusenik. Great ball from Hill, though. She's not just a goal scorer. Look at this pass.
That's just a simple ball on the ground. We see great first touch to try and beat that defender, but then she cuts back into her. She probably should have just kept coming wide, and then at least that would have opened room up for Hill to kind of cut into the middle, but I think she tried to do too much there.
Good look a moment ago at Grubka right in front of Hill. Grubka, who told me after practice today she definitely was hoping to get a nod in the NWSL, where her teammate Coleman is now playing, a key part of that Kansas City team. Hahn to Murakami, down near the corner flag. And Murakami will earn a corner, I do believe. Looks like it'll be a throw-in. Nope, now they are pointing corner. So corner kick, Florida State. 90 seconds left here in the first half. Sarah Rose said it best. UConn would love to keep it at 2-1 here. They know Florida State are going to continue to attack the Connecticut goal. Hill will track back. Hill over to Moreau. Moreau Brittany Moreau. Will go off of Florida State, throwing back now to Connecticut. High pressure, they'll lose it. Unforced error. UConn gets it, they bomb it long, trying to find Hill. Playing it in space, Hill trying to stay with it. It's played back to the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper swings at it, misses it, and now she's got to boot it out of bounds. That's the kind of pressure that Rachel Hill will put on you.
And she is just able to outpace Kirsten Crowley, and we see here ball is lofted in. Crowley's able to get a jump on her, but look at the pace of Hill, just able to force it. Tough ball for the goalkeeper, but tries to one-time it in because she knows Hill's coming and just mishits it. Cassie Miller is a red shirt freshman, but she's got tons of national team experience. You'd expect a little bit more, but they're not used to being down.
See what happened over there. It's coming forward now to take the corner kick, as we were showing you the highlight there, is Gotwick. So Gotwick will take it.
10, 9,
8 seconds left.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Florida State can take one more shot at it in the final second. And with that whistle, it is UConn 2, Florida State 1. An entertaining 45 minutes of soccer here in Stores.
That's unbelievable effort by UConn. We knew that they were going to play direct. We knew Hill was going to be dangerous, but Florida State just couldn't answer it. They could not stop her, knowing coming into it that she was so dangerous.
Hoping to talk to Lenny Santeris, the head coach of UConn. With the score, UConn 2 and Florida State 1. And Sarah, your thoughts on the first 45 minutes from UConn?
Well, I think UConn has done a tremendous job of playing the way they know how to play. They've won possession of the ball, and then they've looked to find Rachel Hill either over the top or on the ground through the seams. I think Hill is a great matchup against 22 Kirsten Crowley, and I think Rupka's getting caught coming forward too much, that they haven't really worried about Hill, and they need to worry about Hill.
All right, Lenny Santeris, now in his 34th year, coming over to talk to us. The head coach of Connecticut, as he'll put the headsets on right now. Lenny Santeris now in his 34th year. Lenny, you've had a lot of special players here. You told me that Rachel Hill was pretty good, and I'll tell you what, she is unbelievable, Coach. What about her performance?
Yeah, I told you she works really hard. She works really hard, and that's where she goes. She's got that nose for the goal, and she's got that acceleration, and that makes her special. And the work ethic. I mean, this kid has been running I don't know how many miles right now, and that makes a difference.
Your back lines had to really handle pressure from the Florida State attack, but they've done a tremendous job of being organized in the box and not really letting Florida State be too dangerous. What do you have to say to them going into the next half?
Yeah, we got to compose a couple of times where we did very well for the most part, but a couple of times we got to be a little bit more composure and play better balls out, and that's really what we're going to talk about. And I think joining up Rachel, we're too slow to joining up her when we move the ball up.
Lenny, thanks so much for being with us. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Lenny Santeris, 34 years. He is from Greece. His mom's still in Greece, 105 years old, over in the blue zone over there where they live forever. It's like cocoon. And Lenny looking like he may go that long as well. Time now to take a look at the Disney Soccer Player of the Week. That's on the men's side there, Wade Hamilton, the fine junior goalkeeper from Cal Poly. Not sure if we have it, but on the women's side, it is, in fact, a Florida State Seminole, Marta Bukowski Matthews. There she is, the senior midfielder with the hat trick against Stetson. As she is your Disney Soccer Player of the Week. Let's take a look now at your NSCA Continental Tire Top 10 as the rankings came out on Tuesday. As Marta Bukowska-Matthews, of course, your player of the week. The UCLA Bruins still undefeated. They do have that tie with a couple ACC teams at 2 and 3. Pac-12 and ACC strong. Florida State at 5.
And I think the two teams that we don't see year in, year out that we want to pay attention to this year are Chugger Adair's Virginia Tech team and Tom Stone's Texas Tech team. Two coaches that have done a tremendous job building those programs, and now they're reaping those rewards.
All right, here in Storrs, Connecticut, it's been the Rachel Hill Show as your top 10 is presented by Continental Tire, proud to be the presenting sponsor of NSCA TV and your rankings. Rachel Hill is on fire. Could be a future Rachel Hill out on the field. When we come back, we'll talk to Rachel Hill. That and more right here on NSCAA TV.
UConn. Live your dream. You watch the match live. You road trip to the away games. You rise and fall with every run. Above all, you live your love of the game. Whatever you do, get there with Continental Tires and improve your grip with extreme contact traction.
Continental Tire, for what you do.
Each year, the NSCAA puts over 7,000 coaches through our coaching education program. Youth, high school, and college coaches at all levels participate in the diploma courses. No matter where you are in your coaching path, we have something for you. Join your peers and get educated. Better coaching, better players, better game. NSCAA Coaching Academy. Improving soccer, one coach at a time. Register today at nscaa.com/education.
The broadcast of this match is authorized by the National Soccer Coaches Association of America. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of any image, sound, count, or description without the express written permission of the NSCAA is strictly prohibited. The Connecticut Huskies women's soccer team might have one of the best stories of the year. Rachel Hill, she scored 13 a year ago. She scored her 10th and 11th in this game, and we caught up to the talented yet soft-spoken Rachel Hill before the game. Rachel Hill, 13 goals a year ago, 9 so far this year. You are an out-and-out goal scorer. What makes you so comfortable in front of the goal?
Just repetition in practice. We do it every day, so you get pretty used to it.
You could pick a lot of schools. Why did you pick Lenny Santeris and University of Connecticut?
When I came for my visit, I just really liked the atmosphere here. The team was awesome, and I liked the distance away from home I was. So.
You're from New Hampshire, where you also scored buckets of goals. Talk about your time as a youth soccer player in New Hampshire.
It was a lot of fun. The competition might not have been so high, but you make the most of it, and it was a great time.
Now, you just played for the USA in the Under-20 World Cup in Canada, got a few minutes. What was that experience like, Rachel?
It was unbelievable. One I'll definitely never forget. Awesome experience.
Now in your sophomore season, there's got to be somebody on your team that keeps you loose. What player keeps you loose and why?
Probably my roommate, Alexa. She's just always goofing around and keeps a smile on my face.
Now, of course, under Lenny Santeris, you got some great assistant coaches. Talk about the coaching staff.
Yeah, they're great. Whenever you need any help, they're there for you. You can step into their office at any time, and they're really supportive.
Today you're playing Florida State, which made it to the national championship a year ago. Why is it important to play great ACC teams and great teams like Florida State?
I mean, it really puts us to the test. You got to see what you're made of. You got to play the top teams and see how you do.
It's pretty clear that you do your talking on the field, Rachel Hill. No doubt about it. Good luck to you the rest of the way, okay?
Thank you.
With you from Storrs, Connecticut, with highlights of the game.
Now's your chance to be part of the most popular soccer camp in North America. Challenger Sports offers a wide range of programs with over 3,000 British Soccer, Tetra Brazil, and Soccer Plus camps for players of all ages and abilities. Join me and Challenger's talented and committed coaches as we help develop new skills, build confidence, and find the magic in your game.
Summer camps are filling up. Register early at challengersports.com and get your free game jersey today. UConn. Live your dream.
The NCAA convention to me is probably the best place to get any sort of education of a wide variety that you can go in the world.
Always nice to see who you wander across in the hallways, might have a quick word with.
I think it's exciting to meet youth coaches and high school coaches and even college coaches who are all really passionate about the sport.
It's a learning experience. I think it's invaluable both from a coach standpoint and from an administrative standpoint.
Halftime here in Connecticut with UConn leading Florida State 2-1 on NSCA TV. A lot of great games coming up, including Saturday night out in Santa Barbara. Tim Vom Steeg against Jorge Salcedo's UCLA Bruins. Got some great games at the NAI level as well as Division II. High Point and UNC Asheville will be on the schedule coming up next Friday. He's flipped the chart here to October. Big game, West Virginia, Texas Tech, Friday, October 10th. Then you've got Duke Davidson men on October 14th. John Kerr's Duke Blue Devils. See if they can recover from that game against Louisville last Saturday where the Cardinals beat them by a score of 5-0. Halftime here in Connecticut. More broadcasts coming up. You see a very busy schedule. You can see all kinds of soccer at all levels on NSCAA TV, pushing you right through October, including down in Barrie, a doubleheader, men and women, with Florida Southern. And it is halftime in Connecticut. We'll take a break and come back with the coaches interview right here on NSCAA TV. It's UConn 2 and Florida State 1. We'll be right back.
UConn. Live your dream.
The NCAA convention to me is probably the best place to get any sort of education of a wide variety that you can go in the world.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm ready to go on.
Super excited.
Pretty excited.
Oh, super excited, yes. Now I'm excited to just be a part of it and experience it all, take it all in.
coach named Ziggy Schmidt. He got a hold of me at 18 years old. It was great for me because, you know, he was strict on us, he was strong with us, but he was very fair. I have to make time for the things I want to do. I want to get better at my sport. I have to take some time, set time aside and do that. Really taught me about the game in general, and tactics, you know, how to watch a game, how to see a game. A lot of the lessons I learned from Ziggy, I kept with me throughout my whole career, and it was good because, you know, I always wonder what my path would have been like if I had a different coach.
See what you're made of. You ever coached under 12s before? Can't say I have. You're not a team. You don't deserve to be a team. Sorry, I showed you did. It's not just about football. It's about dreams.
Welcome back to Storrs, Connecticut. It's halftime here with the University of Connecticut on top of the Florida State Seminoles by a score of 2-1. Dean Linke along with Sari Rose. Take a look here at your first half stats. And, of course, the scoreline, the most important, but shots dead even.
Yeah, I think, you know, we came in thinking that Florida State was going to have the better possession, was going to have the ball more, and they have. They just haven't really been able to finish with anything, whereas UConn has come out, and the few opportunities they've had, they've been successful and really made them work.
And roll to the highlights here. No fouls in either one of them. Pretty exciting first half here at Storrs, Connecticut.
And just an unbelievable ball. We see Rachel Hill, the composure on her, just to do a little flick, get it over, doesn't try and be cheeky, but just the right pace on that ball. Awesome service by number 21. We talked about her ability, Brianna Butler, to play a ball in, and just a great job by Rachel Hill to finish that. And then
Rachel Hill's not done.
Exactly. And then here again, another little ball she's able to run on. We haven't seen her have a ton of touches because it only takes one to just put that ball in and slip it to the side of goalkeeper Cassie Miller.
Great effort. Grubka goes down, so does Hill, but it goes in the back of the net. But Florida State would answer. Great service from Pickett.
And we've talked about Pickett all night long. She's got a great left foot, but there we see her playing that ball with her right foot on the ground to the super sub, number 10, Berglund Thorvald's daughter. And a good finish there. I think the UConn goalkeeper probably could have had a little bit of better angle, but a tremendous finish by Thorvald's daughter.
Thorvald's daughter with her 4th goal of the season as they pull back one of the goals. It's now 2-1. And Mark Krikorian coming over to talk to us here as we start the second half. Mark Krikorian, the fine head coach for Florida State. And Mark, obviously, I'm sure you're impressed with Rachel Hill, but what's your message at halftime, Coach?
Well, you know, we talked to the players before the game about her quality and that we really didn't want to let her behind us. We've obviously done a poor job at preventing that. But more than that, we need to start keeping the ball some. I think that we haven't developed much rhythm in the game, and hopefully in the second half we can get a hold of the ball a little bit more, keep the ball, make the ball do the work for us, and do a better job keeping track of Rachel Hill and the rest of the group.
Coach, you've done a good job, I think, of getting opportunities in the box. Haven't had the success that you've wanted. What did you talk to your forwards and your midfielders about finishing those opportunities?
Yeah, we talked about patience. We think that we're going to get some more chances in the second half and making sure that we're not just taking erratic shots and that they're high percentage shots and that we get the ball in the frame.
Mark, I know you love being back here. Enjoy the second half, okay?
Thank you.
Mark Krikorian, the fine head coach of the Florida State Seminoles. It's halftime, and Rachel Hill, you see her right there on your screen with both goals. Fun to talk to her at halftime. Is kind of quiet, but I'll tell you what, it was perfect to put the spotlight on her as she's got 2 more.
Yeah, tremendous effort. We talk about the fact that she's not a very imposing character, but she gets out there and she gets it done. I don't think she's had a ton of touches tonight. 1-2, and she tries to put it on goal. We're going to see more of that in the second half, I think.
Connecticut in their white jerseys getting set. Around the coaches, Lenny Santeras, 34th season. Margaret Rodriguez, her 8th season. Zach Shaw, his 4th season here at Connecticut. And there's Mark Krikorian talking to his team with his coaching staff, Mike Bristol, Wes Hart, Armin DeCranian, and Nathan Minion, the director of operations. Jason Laterney is the fine SID for Florida State. And want to thank my main man Bobby here as well for UConn.
I think what Mark said at halftime is important. His team is very good at possessing the ball, but they're down. They're not used to being down. And so having that patience to not just play a ball in, but really pick a runner, and the runner really taking the time to try and finish. You know, we saw a lot of rushed opportunities. They had a lot of them, but they weren't necessarily the best, and I think they need to be smarter in this second half.
So here's the deal now with goal number 53, or point rather, up to 54 now, 4 points for Hill. She is now in the top 20 all-time at points, 54. She'll be chasing down Maura Buckley, who started here in 80 to 83 with 166 points. So if you do the math, if she can somehow come up with another 20 points, that'll put her at 74. Not quite halfway to chasing down Maura Buckley, but Hill could threaten Buckley the way if she keeps going at the pace she's been. She gets 1 or 2 a game, as you said, Sari. Second half underway. And Florida State, Pickett, dropped in. Oh, my goodness, wide open. There were 2 Seminoles wide open inside the 18, including Williams.
And we haven't seen that all game. I think one of the things we wanted to compliment UConn on earlier in the game was the fact that Toole did such a tremendous job working with Charno and trying to mark those players in the box, that there was nobody open like that in the first half.
Hill now with 24 goals. Buckley has 63. Margaret Tijan has 43. She's in the top 10, and she's on the bench. And her sister, Jen Tijan, has also was very good here, and she's on there. Here's a ball played from Hulda Hines. Hines will cross it back over to Hill, and Hill gets her head on it. So we wondered how she scores him. She almost put one in with her head.
Yeah, she just has a knack for being in the right place. She reads the game well. And, you know, Hines does a good job of getting on the end of this, playing it back away from the keeper. And you see Hill just a great run in between the 6 and the 12 there. You know, there's certain players out there that just have a knack for finding the right spot. They're savvy in the box. You know, and I think we've seen that from her. We haven't had to see her hold the ball. We haven't had to see her beat a player 1v1. It's been a lot of athleticism and just soccer sense.
I want to thank all the good folks here at Connecticut for being wonderful hosts here over the last couple days. I was able to get in yesterday and go to the practices, and just a wonderful school. Everything's right together, all the facilities as well. The basketball center, where right on Jim Calhoun Way, is right here. Baseball, soccer, softball, everything. Walking distance for the students. Hines played back. Hunsberger with the cross, looking for Hill. Grubka gets down and knocks it out of there. Here comes Fields, wearing number 4. Looks up top to Williams. Williams. Chorno. Now back to Fields. Fields will first time it.
Now, what we're not seeing from Florida State is, you know, that was a great effort by Williams and Fields, but we didn't see Hikaru Murakami get forward. You know, Marta Bukowski was in the box, but Han, Dries, we're not seeing those players getting into the attack.
"41 minutes. Fields. Fouled by Moreau. It'll be a free kick opportunity for Florida State. Pickett. Schmid. Schmid's open. Schmid wide open. Tuck back. Schmid Trying to go far post. She was wide open, Sari.
Just a smart little play. Everybody's looking for that long ball in, but Pickett just slots Schmid. Great effort. We see just smart little play. Schmid's going to take a touch and then cut inside, put it on her left foot. Not a bad shot.
Almost tucked it in, upper 90 there. Schmid will win it. Middle of the field. Kayla Hahn had it for a second, but UConn going the other way with Hill.
Hill just able to poach the ball off the back line.
And Hill will run it down. She'll take the throw in. Hoping Hines was there. Now she'll set it down. I like that move as Hunsberger will come forward. Hines. Saw her go to the end line before. Huell was in the box, but not on frame. It'll be a goal kick, Florida State. 6 minutes in here to the second half. 2-1 UConn. Couple goals from Rachel Hill. And one answered back by Thorvald's daughter, who got her 4th goal. Hill with goal number 10 and 11 in her sophomore campaign. 24 goals already. Grupka with a tough ball to Hahn. Now Crowley will spread it to Pickett. Pickett looking for Williams.
UConn's doing a good job doubling, really trying to help those outside backs out. And UConn's kind of dropped off defensively. It looks like they've got a little restraining line of confrontation, where they're going to let Florida State knock the ball around the back, and then when they try and play it into the middle, that's when UConn's going to pounce.
Foul on Florida State. UConn will have it. Joseph J. Maroney Stadium here in Storrs, Connecticut. Your host, take a look here at the foul, Sari. Gotwick.
Yeah, just getting in hard and takes the whole body out, and that's why they're going to call it.
Gotwick is a handful in the middle. 6 feet tall, the freshman from Newport Richey, Florida. Got to be a thrill for her to play against Florida State, I would imagine. And there's Gotwick with the header. Second ball, though, won by Florida State and Fields. Gotwick tried to get stuck in, but Fields will win it over to Pickett. Pickett can deliver it on a dime. She slipped, though, as she tried to hit that one. She can knock it 40, 50 yards, though, easy.
Tremendous left foot, but also doing a bad service with her right as well.
Charno, number 50, hit that one long. One back, though, by Grupka. Now they'll play it to Hahn. Hahn just really simple, clean. Too strong for Williams. Emily Armstrong in there now. Good look at Emily Armstrong, the sophomore transfer from Boston College.
She's a kid that played 20 games last year. Just a tremendous keeper. She was the number 3 keeper coming out of high school. Then got injured at Boston College, so redshirted. But now she's really been able to come in and be an impact player for the Huskies.
We saw Coach Foley's Boston College team out at Illinois State. They won that game 4-1. That's another pretty good ACC team. They've been dealing with some injuries. Obviously, Mackenzie Meehan is out for the season, but they got some talented players on that team.
The ACC is strong. You know, the weaker teams in the ACC the past few years have been Clemson and NC State, and now Clemson's in our top 25. NC State under Tim Santora has really turned it around.
Hill with some high pressure. Hill just makes you work the entire game. Speaking of workers, how about Charna?
Great
Charno, the
job.
senior.
Keeping possession there.
Sabrina Toole. Perfect ball, middle of the park. Gotwick spreading, trying to find Riley Huell. She spread it out wide. Here's Gotwick again. She's got Hill and Hines. She'll choose Hines. One back by Florida State is Murakami. Now Hahn. Hahn with Pickett coming up the wing. Look at Hines track back. Gotwick.
Smart little ball.
Put it into space. Try to find Hill. Grubka comes over, knocked out of bounds. Throw in for UConn. They lead it 2-1 with 35 minutes left here in the second half. Hines. They'll touch it back to Hines, and they'll knock it out of bounds again. UConn. Nope, they'll say it went off of Hines. Throw in Florida State. Keep in mind, 3 big players for Florida State not here, as UConn looking for more, including Dagny Brinja's daughter, who became FSU's career leader in game-winning goals when she notched her 15th, scoring the 1-0 win against Oklahoma, as Brinjar's daughter is with the Iceland national team. Back again, of course, we mentioned to you in the first half, Megan Campbell from the Republic of Ireland is also not here for Mark Krikorian, and Emma Koivisto from Finland. Rachel Hill's right here in Storrs, Connecticut, though, and she is getting it done for the Huskies, Sari Rose.
And she has. She's played simple, but she's just been tremendous for them. I also like what she does up top. You know, UConn lets her kind of chase the center backs and just putting pressure on, letting them make a mistake. And then when they play that ball in, the rest of the team looks to try and pounce on it.
Grubka trying to find Williams. Williams will chest it down. Good team defense there from Connecticut. Look at Hill, middle of the park. Looking for options. Hines playing it into space. Ball's still alive.
And that's where Hines has got to get forward, though, and help out. She was staying back a little bit, and she's got to bump up to that next player so that Florida State can't get out.
Hill actually turned around wondering where she was.
It's been very much the Rachel Hill show, but I think as Coach Centeras said at halftime, you know, he needs to see a little bit more of Hull. He needs to see a little bit more of Hines getting into the attack with her and helping her out in situations exactly like that.
Lenny Santeris in his 34th season from Greece. Now over there, known as the Blue Zone, Anderson Cooper did a story about how there's people living as long as 120 years old. His mom is 105. He says that she's got all her wits about her, can still get around, and just an incredible place to live. I think I'm heading over there, Sari. Fields. The Island of Icaria over in Greece.
We haven't mentioned their names too much, but number 21, Brianna Butler, number 14, Samantha McGuire, have done a really good job supporting the back line and making sure that they're there to double, pick up any loose balls.
Here's Hines. Over to Riley Huell. Florida State will win it. As they switch fields, good time to tell you that the registration for the NSCAA convention is now available. It's January 14th through 18th. Back in Philadelphia again. It is the world's greatest soccer show. So much to learn, so much to participate in. The MLS draft, NWSL draft, incredible exhibit hall, great clinicians. We'll see you in Philly. Florida State trying to see the back of the goal here and tie this one up. Williams, a lot more active here in the second half. On the spin. Down near the end line. Cleared out by Charno. .30 minutes left here in this one. Unless Florida State can tie it and force overtime. You feel like a goal might be coming. Schmid will tuck it back. Schmid looked like she was clipped. They'll play advantage. She's clipped again. Boy, they don't call either one of them, though. And Connecticut going the other way. Huell trying to find Hines. Hines in a foot race, though, and won by Crowley.
Not a bad idea, looking to switch the point of attack, just didn't put enough on it.
Hill putting pressure on Grubka. Tough pressure for Armstrong, and you said it best. Samantha McGuire's done a nice job coming back in support. She did it right there. Hill. Great little touch to Huell. Hill, Huell, Hines up top for UConn. H cubed.
And Huell just hasn't been as on point this half as we saw earlier. I don't know fatigue setting in or not, but it might be one of those things where they were able to go to the bench a little bit. Can they get her a sub and then she comes on strong for the last 10 minutes? FSU looks like they're going to put in their super sub, number 10, Berglund Thorvaldsdottir.
Thorvaldsdottir has the only goal for Florida State. Hill with the 2 UConn goals. Hahn goes around Gotwick. Keeps it on the ground to Fields. Jamia Fields. Little pump fake. Back across. Far post. Murakami was there. And this one will go out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for Connecticut as Florida State will indeed go to their bench. Is coming in the goal scorers. Got her 4th in the first half. Thorvaldsdottir. And Morgan Kennedy, number 14, will go out. So a little more offense.
Looks like the way they're changing it, they may be switching up. They were playing in a 4-2-3-1. It looks like they may be going to a little more traditional 4-3-3 with Thorvaldsdottir up top. Shayna Williams to the left, and then Hiriaku Murakami coming into the middle there more.
.27 minutes. There's Thorvaldsdottir looking to be dangerous again off the bench here in the second half. Almost had the touch to be in on Armstrong.
And in this formation, FSU really spreads those outside backs wide and gets them forward, the old school Barcelona style where they almost play with the 2 center backs. And that's it on the attack.
Williams tracking all the way back to win it. Let's see if that can start the attack as Marta Bukowska-Matthews has indeed pushed up a little bit more. She comes into the game with 5 goals and 2 assists and is the reigning NSCAA Player of the Week, Disney Soccer style. 26 minutes and change left here in Stores. 2-1. Fields is in. Fields back across. Still there. Shot. Goal. And the Florida State Seminoles have tied it. The super sub strikes again. Thorvaldsdottir's got 2 to match Hill.
And just a miscommunication in there. That back Moreau from Connecticut just stepped in, I think, and then by stepping in, she just opened the whole 18 for Florida State. We see players wide open. Good cross in here by Pickett. We see Moreau just got caught, and then when Charno goes to step, Sabrina Toole has to step, and then there's Thorva's daughter wide open on the backside.
I feel bad for Sabrina Toole. She came over to try to clean it up, and she just missed it as well. So a couple mistakes there from Moreau and Toole, unfortunate ones, and certainly not for a lack of effort, but Florida State will make you pay if you make any kind of mistake, and so now it's tied at 2.
There's a lot of time left, especially the momentum change in this. A 2-1 is such a dangerous lead because now the momentum switches to Florida State.
The most goals UConn has given up this year was at Penn State back on August 29th. A 1-3 loss, their only loss of the season. Connecticut, let's see if they can bounce back with an answer. First time they've been tied since the opening minutes. Hines, it'll hit Hill, and Hines will stay with it.
And they're scrappy. We're not talking technical, sweet on the ball here. We're talking scrappy, hard players. It gets in the box, and Hines is just going to keep battling. Hill's just going to keep battling.
This is Williams. She'll square it. Murakami now out wide to Fields. It was Fields who was key in that last goal. Murakami over to Hahn. Now Pickett. Remember, Pickett started it, though, with the great ball to Fields. Pickett has been so good. That one notwithstanding, as now Lenny Santeris will go to his bench and bring in a couple Husky players off the bench. Just checking in for Huel is Alexa Keeney, number 2. Kenny, rather, the sophomore. And then also coming into the game is Andrea Plusenik, the redshirt junior from Brooklyn. Hahn will drop it back. You got to feel like the confidence now way high for Florida State. Not that Florida State isn't always confident. They are one of the premier programs in the country. Mark Krikorian now in his 10th season. All 9 years they've got to the dance. A couple national championship games, several college cups. The guy's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they've been ranked in the top 25 basically since he took over in 2005 has been amazing. Not to mention the fact they've been to 6 college cups in his tenure. I mean, just a tremendous coach.
Pickett with the left foot in the box. Charno, they can't find it. And cleaned up by Armstrong as Williams came crashing in. Williams, the transfer from Vanderbilt. Bounces around. Grubka's on it. Here's Fields. Storrs, Connecticut, of course, home to great soccer. Here with the women's team, of course, the men's team, they won the national championship in 1948, 1981, and 2000. A couple of those under the great direction of Joseph J. Maroney, the stadium named after him. And we're now joined by one of their big-time players, Andrea Besso Marco, who stars for Ray Reid. And Andrea, good to see you, my man.
Good, how are you?
Pleasure having you. Of course, you've had a fantastic few years here at UConn. How important is it for the UConn men's team to support the women's soccer program each season?
I mean, we're tight. You know, we're friends. We support them. They support us. So it's good they're having a good season now. And they're going to keep it there, going to keep running and end the season like the way they started. So it's always good to have like a women's program as good as the men's program. So we hope they're gonna end up having a good season too.
Andrea Besso-Marco joining me here in the booth as Florida State has tied it. It's 2-2, and the Seminoles looking for more. They'll get it out wide. Murakami down near left side. Looked like it may have been a handball. They'll say no. Shot back, cleared by Connecticut. Top of the 18. Florida State knocking at the door here. They tied it moments ago before Andrea Besso-Marco could get up here. And what are your thoughts on the play of Rachel Hill this year and how exciting she's been? 2 more, goals number 10 and 11.
Yeah, she's she's playing amazing. She's having like a good start of the season. Yeah, as you said, she scored like 11 goals in 9 games. I think that's amazing. She had a good season last year, but this year has been better. So you gotta keep it there.
Foul on UConn. As Jamia Fields will go down. It'll be a dangerous free kick opportunity as we're in the booth here with UConn men's superstar Andrea Besso-Marco. And what do you think here? Foul?
No, she touched the ball first. I'm
Homer.
going for UConn. So
yeah. Homer up here in the booth for sure. Husky style. Let's keep you right here though, Andrea. Free kick opportunity for the Seminoles. They are so dangerous on these. Pickett, great with her left. So seen her knock some great balls with her right as well. It's just a 3-man wall right now for UConn. She's not afraid to shoot this. So Armstrong needs to be ready. Armstrong basically just guarding the far post, leaving the near post open. And they'll go far post right in front. Could be the third. It is. And let's see. Flag stays down. Florida State. The referee's going to come over and talk to the linesman. Let's see what they say. As Grubka came in, and Grubka with the goal, and now it's 3-2 Florida State. I know you don't like seeing that, but Grubka, the big, powerful senior. Let's break down this shot. Pickett went far post. Armstrong came off. Grubka got a piece of it, and then Grubka trying to stay with it, heads it in. Wow. And that is a big-time senior defender, Grubka, who was a key part of the team that went to the national championship game. I know you got to admire that, even though in a tough way, Andrea.
yeah, it was a good goal. I mean, good effort.
Take a look at it one more time. Pickett kept down on her left foot. Grubka gets in there. Armstrong gets a piece of it. It's going near the end line and just gets down, gets low, and heads it in. And Florida State has come back from a 2-goal deficit to now take a 3-2 lead as we're joined by the UConn men's superstar midfielder Andrea Besso-Marco. And now, who's a better ball handler, you or Rachel? We need to know that, by the way. Both of you guys pretty good.
I think I'm better with the ball, but she's faster and she scores more goals. So
I agree. You're so crafty with the ball. I remember calling a game here a couple years ago against West Virginia. Now, who's your favorite player on the women's team?
I like the new freshman number 25. He has good technique, so I like that one.
Yeah, 6 feet tall, very, very strong. Good pick for sure. And what did it mean for you to be included on this year's Mac Herman watch list?
It was an honor, and I'm so thankful for it. That means that we had, like, as a team and as an individual, I had a good season last year and the team too. So honored to be in that list, but got to keep working.
Andrea, you were featured on Sunday on NSCA TV, a good win out in Seattle, a long trip. How would you assess your team's success so far this season under Ray Reid?
It's been a tough start. We've been playing against really good teams, but hopefully we have a young team, so they're going to get experience from those games, and we're getting better. We're getting better every day, and we'll be there like every year.
Andrea Besso-Marco, how special is it to see the recent success of both the men's team, 3 straight trips to the NCAA quarterfinals, and the women's program, and how important it is for those teams to keep up the winning tradition here in Storrs?
It's good. It's so good for us and for the program and for the university that both teams can do a good job every year, and hopefully this year is going to be the same for us and for the women's soccer team.
And tell us a little bit about where you're from and what made you decide to come to Storrs.
Yeah, I'm from Spain. I used to play for Villarreal in Spain for the academy, and the chance to come here was like the chance to come to the U.S., play soccer at a good level with Coach Reed and the UConn men's soccer team, and getting a good education too.
I'll tell you what, you are a wonderful little player. I've enjoyed
Thank you.
watching you. Look forward to Connecticut making a nice long run in the tournament this year, okay?
Hopefully we will. Thank you.
All right, welcome. Thank you
Have a
so
good one.
much. Andrea Besso Marco, the fine midfielder for the UConn Huskies. He's on the Mac Herman watch list, and he's the kind of player that you got to keep an eye on. It was good of Ray Reed to have him come by and join us. As now Florida State on top 3-2, looking for more, though the flag is up. As going too quickly there is number 10, Thorvald's daughter. And Sari, what about that effort from Grubka? I know you weren't on headset when it happened, but getting down and low, that was not going over the end line unless she just sprawls out and puts her head on it.
I mean, just an unbelievable effort for her. She's on the ground, almost pinned down by the UConn player, and then gets up and just worms to get her head on the ball. Definitely a da-da-da moment in sports.
Yeah, no doubt Sabrina Toole was trying to track her down. Big time goal from the center back Grubka. And it's only fitting. We started the show putting the spotlight on Rachel Hill for UConn and Grubka for Florida State. Hill with 2 and Grubka with what would be, if it holds right here at 3-2, the game winner.
And I've talked about Pickett, and I love the fact that Florida State, they put Grubka up. Everyone's thinking that ball's going to be on the air, and what does she do? She plays a nice bending ball right in. Grubka's able to get her foot on it. You know, good effort by the UConn defense, but nice cheeky little play by Florida State and Mark Krikorian.
Incredible, courageous goal from Grubka. One in the middle by UConn. It's played too long. Youth clubs and players want to be noticed by the top college programs, and the NSCA can help. Through its partnership with Elite Tournaments, the NSCA College Showcase connects you with college coaches so you can show off your talents. Clubs, players, and college coaches can find more information by going to nsca.com/events. Florida State has come back from a 2-goal deficit, and they now lead it by a score of 3-2 here on the road in Storrs, Connecticut, and they are looking for more. Fields. Ooh, push from behind.
Yeah, Brianna Butler just got a hold of her there. You know, we talked about how Fields is so dangerous with her speed. Butler definitely got away with one right there, I think. Great cut inside. And then we see Butler here come to put pressure on, and yeah, just kind of grabs her as she's going down.
Gotwick will win it.
Florida State with a little bit of possession here, playing it out wide, but it's intercepted by UConn. And here we see Rachel Hill gets the ball at her feet. She's looking for support.
Hill's got it. Over to Gotwick. Here's Hill inside the 18, and she'll miss-hit it. You know, Sari, the last time Florida State erased a 2-goal deficit was against Boston College October 3rd a year ago. They were down 2 at half, and Florida State scored 4 second-half goals to win that game 4-3. Last time it happened on the road was August 17th, 2012, down 0-2 at Minnesota. They actually came back to win that game 3-2, as now UConn puts Hines back in. Hill, drop back. And UConn needs to do a little bit better with that as Placenik with the shot. Florida State now under 13 minutes. They'll play it the other way. Thorvaldstadter will run it down. Here's Fields. Charna couldn't get it out of there, and Armstrong finally gets to it. Carson Pickett with 3 assists. It's her career high. fifth Seminole with 3 assists in a game in school history, and the third career multi-assist game for Pickett. The last time it was done was actually Marta Bukowska-Matthews against Jackson State a couple years ago. And remember, Bukowska-Matthews is our reigning Disney Soccer NSCAA Player of the Week. So big-time stats. Jason Laterney, the fine SID for the Florida State Seminoles, delivering the goods here. As UConn, boy, they got to be really disappointed right now. So much enthusiasm, up 2-0 against this powerful team, Sarah, now down 3-2.
I think they let down a little after that second goal, so FSU was able to come back quickly. And then this second half, they just haven't been as clean in that back line, being able to offer support and mark. And we see Jamia Fields here just having her way a little bit with Moreau.
Seminoles win it back, very patient now. Connecticut, 11 minutes and change. Pushing forward, Hunsberger. She'll lose it. Florida State. Bukowska-Matthews. Nicolette Dries, number 3, has had quite a few touches now off the bench here in the second half. Pickett with 3 assists. Murakami. Pickett is on it. If it ended now, you'd have to give a few votes to Pickett for player of the game, but it'll be hard not to talk to Grubka about that incredible goal, as Armstrong will bring it down.
Yeah, I mean, Pickett's really been one of the key playmakers in this game, but just Grubka's sheer desire to win is what put that ball in the back of the net.
Miss hit in the back.
Come
3-2 Florida State. Under 10 minutes left here in this one. Can the Huskies answer? Certainly Florida State, Mark Krikorian talked about it. Keep an eye on Rachel Hill. She was dangerous in the first 2 minutes here of the second half, and since then, the Florida State Seminole defense has been able to contain her, as Julie Hubbard now will come in for UConn. And Ruby Fee, the junior from Nantucket, Mass, coming into the game. The niece of former Carolina Courage Director of Communications, Jim Houghton, big soccer guy, lives on Nantucket. His Fee is a pretty good little athlete. This will come all the way back. Murakami, midfield, with the left foot, played up top. Thorvald's daughter's there. Armstrong comes up hard.
Great job by Armstrong to come off her line. We see a number of subs have come in for UConn, and they've got to get organized. They've got to figure out some of the movements that they need to make in terms of helping out and supporting on the wings.
It was Charno coming back in support with Armstrong. But Florida State now doing what they do best, keeping possession, a little bit of pressure there. Grubka boots it long. Hines. Look at Hahn come back. That's how she's played the entire game, sitting in front of that back four. It's Hahn and Dries now. It was Hahn and Kennedy. Dries will drop it to Thorvald's daughter. Thorvald's daughter in a foot race with Charno. She'll turn back, play it into space. Murakami comes forward looking for Hahn. And Connecticut able to break it up. It's number 6, Megan Campbell. Played strong there. Andrea Plusenik, number 6, doing a good job for Connecticut. Here's Hines. Hines will stay with it. Has Hill to her left. Hines pushed outside. That'll be no problem for Miller, the goalkeeper for Florida State, who we have not had to say her name too often here in the second half.
Now, when we see, I mean, Hines does a tremendous job of getting in front of that ball, but then she's just not able to do much with it at her feet, and we're not seeing really any of the UConn players checking to support her. It's a lot of individual efforts we're seeing.
Fans starting to get a little unsettled here now. So much to cheer about early on as Connecticut behind Rachel Hill took a 2-0 lead, but Florida State has responded as you had to figure they would. One of the best teams in the country. Now UConn. Look at Fields track back. Fields. Look at the speed of Fields to come back and win it away from Sam McGuire. Oops, sorry.
I think one of the things Mark Krikorian and his teams are known for is their ability to possess and control the pace and tempo of the game. And so going down those 2 goals, it frazzled them a little, but in the long run, they're able to actually, know that they're going to get their goals. They know that they can knock a ball around. They're confident in their ability to possess the ball. And we've seen that really shine through in the second half.
Well said from Sari Rose, former goalkeeper at Wake Forest. Now we cleared out by Grubka. She is your hero right now, the courageous goal. As you said, worming along the ground and heading it in from about a foot as the ball was ready to stop. Getting to it before Toole could.
Good decision by Cassie Miller to get that ball and get at her feet right there. I like the fact she's come in. She's a freshman, but she really controls that back line.
Five minutes left. The UConn faithful trying to push the Huskies to get the equalizer. It's hard to do if Florida State continues to kill the clock with possession. Look at Fields tucked back in. Fields has come alive here in the second half. A lot more space now as Florida State will spread it out to Murakami. She'll drop it back to Pickett with 3 assists. Dries in a battle there, but won by Tori Patterson, who has come on. Tori Patterson with Dries. Patterson trying to go right through Dries. Dries does well to drop it to Schmid. Schmid, ooh, and she is clipped there. Hard foul, might even be a card. As Sam McGuire, a little bit of frustration, and McGuire will get a yellow.
Mark Krikorian is not happy with the referee right now. You see Schmidt go down here.
Mark Krikorian.
I think he's not he's happy with the call. He's not happy with the fact that the ref stopped the clock on that.
4 minutes left. Seminoles. Hahn. Florida State went down 2-0 as Rachel Hill, the sensational sophomore, scoring 2 but answered here. Thorvaldstadter got 1 back in the first half, and Florida State has got 2, including what would be the game winner from the seasoned senior Kristen Grubka. And coming in now for UConn, Tanya Altrui, the freshman. So let's see what Altrui can bring up front, along with Hill. As Huell and Hines have, Huell's gone to the bench. Hines is tucked back more in the midfield for Lenny Santiris. 34 years now as the head coach at UConn. That included those early glory days when they would face North Carolina in the Final Four. Back when the Final Fours would be played at the higher seed. Not easy to go to Chapel Hill and Try to beat him there. Here's Schmid. Schmid. Back to Dries.
Jamia Fields doing a good job just trying to keep the ball and kill time in the corner.
Schmid. Schmid with her right foot. Back across. And that's fine with Florida State. Oh my. Misplayed though by Murakami. Just gave it back to UConn. UConn. They can make you pay if they find Hill, but not able to find her. That would have been incredible. Florida State will win it right back now with just 2 minutes to go. Thorvaldstadter could really put it away, and Armstrong did well to come back and make that goal really small. All right, here comes Huell. So Huell, rather. Riley Huell into the game. And we've said Riley Huell's name about 5 different ways tonight, so we apologize to their parents.
And we're going to see UConn last 2 minutes. They're just going to have to push numbers forward and really look to see if they can try and play a long ball in. They've got Huell back in. They've got Altrui up top. They've moved McGuire up top as that target player. And they need to send this.
And let's see what they do. 70 seconds remaining. Hill's got to show. They got to find her. Here's Hines. Ooh, just too hard. Hines did not need to do that. 1 minute left, and this could be a heartbreaker for the Huskies. Played so well early on. They'll try to pin him in. Let's see if the Huskies can win it back. Florida State pings it long. That second ball, so important. Kept alive. 40 seconds left. Look at Fields. Wow.
Great
Just
effort.
stay with it. Thorvaldstadter. And now Dries has got to hit it long, and she does, and that could do it as Florida State down 2 goals, come back with 1 in the first, really answering that Hill goal within minutes, and now 2 in the second, including one of the more courageous goals you're going to see from Grubka. And Florida State came in as the number 5 team in the country, and they come back to knock off the talented UConn Huskies and Rachel Hill by a score of 3-2.
I think we see here, UConn came out. They had a good game plan. They were looking to try and really isolate Hill up top and have that 1v1 against Kirsten Crowley and Grubka, and she did well that first half. I just don't know if they have the depth that Florida State has, and as that game wore on, I think they didn't have the players they could go to, and we saw that Florida State was able just to weather the storm, and then their style prevailed in the end.
Florida State will now go to 7-1 on the season. Their only loss to Becky Burley's Florida Gators. Connecticut will go to 6-2-1. And there is Kristen Grubka, an unbelievable goal for number 13, as she makes her way over to talk to us here on NSCAA TV. Number 13, Kristen Grubka, the fine defender, getting her second goal of the young season. Jason Laterney, the SID, down there helping us out as well, as Kristen Grubka getting ready to come on. And an unbelievable goal from Kristen Grubka. And Kristen, great to talk to you after practice today. One of the more courageous goals we've ever seen. Talk about your game winner. It was pretty fantastic.
Carson served a nice ball into the box front post, and I was lucky enough to get a foot on it, and I saw it wasn't going to go over the line. So instead of trying to turn my whole body, I just headbutted it right in on the ground. So.
You provide tremendous leadership for this team. What is it coming back from 2 goals down? What did you have to say to your team at halftime, and how did you help your team rebound?
I think it shows that our team has a lot of character. Even if we're down 2 goals, I think we fight. We have fight. We showed it last year too, and I'm happy that our team can come back from being down.
Kristen, we've showed your goal a couple times since talking to you. Talk about fight. I mean, it could be a Sports Center top 10. It really was that good. Have you ever scored a goal like that before?
Nope, never in my whole career of soccer.
I mean, the worm on the field there. Now, of course, you know Miss Coleman's now playing in the NWSL. What are your aspirations?
Probably to go off and try and play pro in the NWSL too, follow in her footsteps, and just hopefully make a good career out of being a professional.
You have been a fantastic Seminole. Congratulations on the come-from-behind win and one of the better goals we've seen.
Thank you very much.
All right, what a fine young lady, Kristen Grubka, with the game winner. What a goal that is. I could see that a million times.
I mean, you watched it live and you weren't necessarily sure how she was able to get her head on it, but seeing that angle, a fantastic camera angle by our crew there, she's actually able to get up and then power head her down on the ground. I mean, just a tremendous effort, and I think that's what we talked about. This team has experience. They have players that are going to do whatever it takes to get done, and we see Grubka just carrying that team right there with that play.
That's the kind of goal I don't even know if you could learn at the NSCA convention. As we do want to remind you that you can sign up for the NSCA convention by going to nscaa.com. Registration is open. It's January 11th through the 14th in Philadelphia. You see it right there, January 14th through the 18th. My bad, get the dates right, Dean. You can register at nscaa.com/convention. Speaking of putting on a clinic, the superstar Rachel Hill started it off for UConn. And then Florida State, the veteran team, always finishing in the top 10 as Lenny Santeris had the team out here ready to take on Mark Krikorian and the Florida State Seminoles. And Rachel Hill, the sophomore sensation, got it started early, chipping Cassie Miller with the first goal, and they loved it here in Connecticut. She would come back with another goal as well as they played over the top again. She'll get to it before Grubka can. And that gave it 2-0 lead to UConn. But Pickett, who had 3 assists on the game, over to Thorvald's they'd pull one right back to make it 2-1, and then the second half belonged to Florida State.
Once again, Carson Pickett, a tremendous serve. We catch Morrow coming out too much, and Fields is able to play across, and then the backside, there you go. You have Thorvald's again just burying it, and then Pickett, so smart, bends that ball around the wall. Great effort by Grubka. I love watching it time and time again.
Incredible, incredible goal, and a great way to send you off